Guys, today we want to talk about the care visa for the UK 2025 and beyond. Obviously, because it's the end of 2024, and to be fair and honest, there's been a lot of suspense, anticipation, and changes and everything this year. From the spring changes, the spring implementations that happened around the care worker visa, and obviously change of government in the summer, and all of these announcements that keep coming. If you do follow the UK politics terrain, of course we don't talk politics on this platform, but we do follow immigration news so that we are up to date with what's happening for our own sake as immigrants, and for our own people back home, as you obviously are interested in still relocating, still embarking on your diaspora journey. Guys, a big welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Florence. If you're watching us for the first time, a big welcome to you. On this platform, we do talk about life in the diaspora, life in the UK for me, because I moved to the UK slightly over 2 years ago, now coming up 3 years. And I moved on a care visa, and it's been going on well, to be fair. And obviously I started sharing on my experiences and what I know, just to help our people to see the diaspora through our eyes, through what we share and our experiences. So disclaimer, whatever that we're going to share are our opinions, are our views, and not a representation of any organization or the views of any organization whatsoever. So guys, stay tuned as we're going to talk about what I do think and feel, and where I see relocation, especially on the healthcare worker pathway going. And guys, stay tuned in this video, because we're going to talk about some of the things that I do feel if you're preparing to relocate on this pathway, you need to, for you to increase your chances of coming abroad. So guys, I mentioned at the start of this video that there's been a lot of changes. I know in April they declared something about salary threshold, to say if one was going to apply for sponsorship on a care visa or senior care worker visa, they had to be earning a certain salary, which was 23,200, which is like the minimum wage and everything else. And obviously there's changes, even the way employers were employing then, because it means people have to be paid more to come to the diaspora. So what it means is, obviously, it's sort of like limits the number of people that are coming. But the good news is that the pathway is still open. The care worker visa is still ongoing, and people are still coming. The second implementation was the fact that people are no longer allowed, if you're coming on a care visa, if you are a healthcare assistant, if you're a senior care worker, you are not allowed to bring your dependents, which means you can't bring your spouse, you can't bring your children. And obviously, when you listen to politicians talk, when you listen to parliamentarians talk, they're talking numbers to say, well, they are actually have seen a significant drop in the number of people that are coming to the UK since the implementation of these things. But the good news is the visa is still open for those that do want to come to the UK. For those that are thinking, I want to relocate to the UK, the pathway is still open. And obviously, depending on how you look, I think I've made a video on this where I said the fact that you can't bring your dependents now does not mean all hope is lost. Because I see opportunities, and I see opportunities differently, obviously. And I always challenge people to say, of course, I'm not someone who loves for families to separate, because I'm a family person. But again, I'm somebody who will grab an opportunity and still find a way of reconnecting, what can I say, of coming together again. But I cannot let an opportunity slip away because I want to be with my family all the time. There are options, and one of the options is the fact that this visa is a multi-entry visa, which means you can go back home, come to the country and work, go back home, and so depending on where you come from. But I came from a background that was quite difficult, and if I would find an opportunity like the one that I found, obviously I would grab it with both hands. So it's all about how you look at that as an opportunity, and we won't talk about those things in this video, but maybe in future videos. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and so that you can benefit from all the input and insights we give here. So again, after, I think in the summer, obviously the government changed, and obviously the new government has got different policies altogether that they're implementing, and immigration is one of the hot topics. And again, I'm glad to say at this point in time they haven't really stopped the health and care worker visa, which means they still need you and me as immigrants to come and work in the UK. Of course, we don't know for how long, but for now, it's still open. For now, people are still coming. So if you're thinking, I want to relocate, then you better hurry. You better do some of the things that I'm going to say now, to say this is what's going to increase your chances of coming to the UK. One of the things, obviously, people do reach out to me and say, Flo, I want to come to the UK. I want to change my life. I want to relocate. I want to do something with my life. But one of the things that I always emphasize and share is the fact that preparation always meets opportunity. And that's not luck. So you got to be prepared for you to say, when an opportunity comes your way, then you grab it with both hands. Then you make the most of that opportunity. And what a better way of preparing for that than to gather all of your documentation. I know we are skilled, I know we are competent, but there's nothing that's heartbreaking as somebody who would say, oh, I had got an interview with such and such an organization, but then they needed somebody with a driver's license and I didn't have it. You suit everything, you tick every box in their criteria, you tick every box of the person that they're looking for, but you miss one certain requirement. Why did I decide to talk about these requirements now? I know you know about the requirements, but some visa application requirements, and then some are employer-specific requirements. And I've talked about all these changes that have happened. I've also spoken about employers really now finding personnel everywhere, because some companies have had their licenses revoked, which means opportunities are now, companies are finding labor everywhere if they want to. No wonder why everywhere you go, you hear switch. We want somebody who is onshore. We want somebody who is already in the UK. So if you are applying and you're from abroad, there are other things. There is an extra mile, extra work that you need to do around preparing yourself for when an opportunity comes your way. I will not even, I will talk about first and foremost your English proficiency requirement, your IELTS requirement. Obviously now, if an employer is to take you, I've come across organizations that say now we want band 6 and above, but the visa office requirement is that you get a band 4 overall, a band 4 across everything. But now organizations are saying we now want someone with a band 6, which means if you're going to go for your IELTS now, do a good job with it, get the highest score that you can get, work thoroughly on it, it's achievable, and getting a higher band will increase your chances of an organization actually engaging you. The second thing that I want to talk about is having all of your documents ready, having your TB test in hand, having your police clearance ready. When these organizations do actually reach out to people, chances are probably maybe they've got 6 weeks to really get you from where you are to get you in the country and start working. They're already desperate. It's winter now, and most organizations do struggle this time of the year, this season of the year. A lot of organizations in this industry, health and care, are struggling with a lot of sickness, a lot of, a lot will be going on. So very few organizations will be able to wait for you to say, oh, we want you, but you don't have your TB test, you don't have your police clearance, or we'll wait for you. So it's very, very important that by the time you start applying, just get your documents ready. It's another thing to say my police clearance will expire in 6 months, or my TB test will expire in 6 months. Rather have it and start applying rigorously. You just never know when you bump into an organization that wants to interview you and get your COS and get you to the country to start working. The other thing that I want to talk about is having a driver's license. I know we are looking for care opportunities. I know we want different sectors and everything. But one of the things that I always share with people when they reach out to me is the fact that the industry, or rather the care pathway where you find most people coming abroad with, is the domiciliary care route. Domiciliary is home care. I've done a video explaining what happens there. So this means you're going door to door. And most of these organizations that are wanting people for domiciliary care work want drivers. So if you do not have it, I'm not saying you'll not get a job. I'm not saying you can't come to the UK if you don't have a driver's license. But trust me, when you have got a driver's license, it's an added advantage. It's a plus for you. It's a plus for the organizations. Those are the people that they're looking for. Why would I say it's difficult for you to get a job in a care home or support work? It's because even us, the seasoned, who came a few years back, have actually transitioned from domiciliary into care homes, into support work for certain reasons. So you find very few people are fortunate enough to get hired by care homes directly from Africa or from wherever, directly getting employed by support work organization directly, because those are on high demand for people that are already in this country, people that are already citizens of this country. So it's quite difficult. So our biggest greatest chance is in domiciliary, which requires us to be drivers for us to stand a greater chance. So it's very, very important that we do that. So that's for somebody who will be asking, like, I don't have a driver's license, what are my chances? If you start working on that driver's license, probably by January, February, you'll be having it. We're talking of some of the things that we can do to increase our chances of getting hired if you want to still come to the UK on a care visa. So apart from all the things, all the preparations that I've said, financial muscle is key. I know when people came, I remember when I came, the organization that I came with was providing me with a company car, paid for my accommodation, certified maintenance for me to come. But then things do evolve, and a lot of people have actually got in the country with this care visa. So most organizations now, because they've realized that there's more people out there who want to come to the country than they thought probably initially, than maybe what they thought, oh, they're the desperate ones. But we also, on the other end, are desperate. That's a fact. So what you can do, you want to do yourself a favor and have that proof of funds well in hand. That £1,270 should already be in your account, because now most organizations are saying, we want you to self-sponsor. We want you to certify that you have got the money to look after yourself when you come to the UK. We want you to be having the money to buy a car when you come to the UK for you to be able to work in domiciliary. So it's very, very important. I've had feedback from people who missed opportunities, and they said, well, I had passed the interview, or I had actually got the interview, and then they asked if I had proof of funds and I didn't have the money. And so they lost an opportunity. So it's one of the things as well that I want to emphasize today, to say if you're watching this video and you still want to come on a care visa in 2025, then proof of funds is one of the things that you have to look at. You have to work on it, you have to have it, so that increases your chances of really getting hired. I know some of the organizations that are actually recruiting at the moment would want to see that £1,270, so that they know when you come to this country, you're able to buy a car, you're able also to look after yourself, to pay your rentals on your own without putting a burden on them and without you becoming destitute in this country. So it's one of the things as well that they want you to have. So above all the things, all the requirements that we've spoken about, I still continue to get this question: do I need to have experience? Do I need to have done this and that? What sort of certification do I need? Honestly, experience can vary from paid experience to voluntary experience, and it's quite key that you show knowledge of the industry, that you show knowledge of the job that you're coming to do. It increases your chances of really getting hired. You want to go into an interview. I always say this, to say, once you get an opportunity for an interview, go and do a good job with it. Make sure you get that job. So you want to portray knowledge, and you want to back it up with qualifications. So these can be face-to-face qualifications, physical qualifications that you can get of Red Cross, of St. John's, of other institutions. I did my training with Red Cross. You can also get online qualifications. There's so many institutions that are offering quality certifications, quality skills and competencies online. So you can actually go that route as well. I'm not here to say which one works best or which one is better, but I just want us to be prepared enough. I want us to have things in hand. I just want us to go for opportunities. Last but not least, guys, the honor lies on you You are the one who wants to come to the diaspora. So consume as much information about the pathway as you can. Spend so much of your time on the internet researching. Make these job search engines your best friend and consume so much information about it. Pursue information and always try. But in your trying, guys, before I go, just be careful and be vigilant, because unscrupulous people are out there to scam people, to con people. So you have to be vigilant. You need to be awoke. I don't encourage people to pay for opportunities. I will never encourage people to pay. Based on my experience, based on what I went through, I would encourage people to do that. But I know once where there's a will, there's a way. Let's put in the work. Let's put in the effort. Let's continue applying, and we'll see ourselves moving abroad in 2025. Guys, that's all I had for you today. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video. And it's bye for now. See you. Bye.